What's up, guys? It is Flash back with some more charts and another video. Today is Friday, March 15th. It's about 12:53 p.m. Eastern Time, and today we're just going to put a few puzzle pieces together, let you guys know how I'm seeing things, how I'm seeing this market, and yeah, before we break for the weekend, I think it's worth noting we're seeing some red across the board in the Nasdaq and crypto, and I just think things are coming into shape. If you've watched some of my videos, you'd know that I'm kind of under the impression that we're going to start going sideways. I think in general equities, the S&P, the Nasdaq, even Bitcoin, the Magnificent Seven, and I think there's going to be a rotation into gold, silver, commodity equities like uranium and oil and gas. And I think that's exactly what these charts are trying to tell us if we just put the pieces together. So I'm going to walk through a couple of these tickers, let you guys know. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment. Definitely leave a like if you appreciate a different perspective. And it really helps me out. So just starting with the NASDAQ and S&P, again, we're about halfway through March here, and that's not a very pretty candle for the NASDAQ. It's kind of been following these little trend channels and, maybe make a higher high and then start making its way down into some sort of another ABC correction of some sort. Like A, B, I would see it maybe break this low and then come back up, and then I'm thinking something like that, into the early 2030s. And so that's just kind of my guess. If we look at the S&P, take some of these lines off. Actually, I'm going to look at the S&P compared to PPI. These big consolidations happen, once in a while, and yeah, I think we're kind of just doing exactly what the Nasdaq's doing. We might make a higher high versus PPI, and then make our way down, which would again cause this rotation. Excuse me. If we look at gold, gold's already kind of breaking out. That is extremely notable, I think, in these markets, that gold is this strong. That means I think inflation is lingering. It's going to stay here for a bit, and I think that's what's going to cause money to rotate into gold, silver, commodity type of equities. And so, back to, the equities, what's been leading this race is NVIDIA. And if I bring up the NVIDIA chart, this is kind of this is an aggressive upward sloping trend line. I imagine we'll probably start to find some support, and I think this is going to start breaking down eventually, but it's what's been holding up the entire market, in my opinion. And then, we look over at Bitcoin, we look at the NASDAQ making a quick higher high. I think Bitcoin is doing something similar. I'm going to go onto the 2-week, and you see this little doji that is forming on the 2-week, and so popped above the previous high. I just think this is going to go sideways. That's just my my take, because I think Bitcoin is going to follow what the markets do. So whether we make a lower low like this and then come back up, I think that is probably could be a fair path. I don't know, but then I think I think I'm a Bitcoin bull in the long run, but in the short run, it's going to correct with equities, I think. We take a look at Google, already kind of showing us that, like I've showed you guys before. Double top, also made a higher high here, and started to begin its rolling over. And so I think like Google was more or less leading the way and was kind of giving us hints this whole time. We look at Apple, we zoom out, kind of a rolling top formation it looks like. So whether it holds this channel, I don't know if it's going to. I also want to show you guys Tesla, another Magnificent Seven stock, but this one's just also kind of leading the way. But it's in a big, huge accumulation cylinder. So I think probably bullish on Tesla in the super, super long time frames. But right now, if we throw the 3-year moving average on, it's kind of following this little bull trend line that I put, and we're already under the monthly Ichimoku cloud. Like, that's a big deal. So, I think it's safe for us to extend this trend line out, and I think we're going to kind of be stuck here for a little bit, similar to, as I mapped out with the general markets. I think we kind of just, and then then kind of make our way up. So again, that's kind of out here in 2029, 2030. So I showed you guys gold, pretty solid breakout. Now silver's also looking super, super explosive. Remember how coiled and tight silver was down here? I was like, this is getting ready to make a move. It could be the very, very beginning. And even if you go out to the quarterly, I'm gonna show you guys the quarterly line chart. I mean, look at this line right here that I have. It's a breakout on the quarterly, clear as day. 1, 2, 3, maybe some touches here. So silver's already making its move, right in plain daylight. And so we look at GDX and SILJ, you know, this is kind of that bull shape I'm talking about. As money leaves and rotates out of equities, I think it's going to come into these commodity equities. So GDX, for example, you know, we can even throw a trend line on here. You know, got to play with that a little bit. And same thing with SILJ. I already have a trend line on here, but bull shape. We're getting ready for money to come back in. And so, you know, oil, this chart is always super messed up. But oil on the monthly, you know, big bull flag here, breakout, retest, and we're into this bull. And it's just climbing up this bull. I think it's going to charge higher. And you see XOP here. Zoom out on XOP. I mean, this is just a head and shoulders, it looks like, right? Shoulder, head, forming the right shoulder. Target's up here on a log, which is crazy, but I mean, XOP is telling us, again, plain as day. And then, you know, I love my uranium stocks. You know, we broke out here, kind of going sideways, and we're making our way up. A couple other ratios, which I'll skip for now, but like Dow versus gold, Russell versus gold. So yeah, these are my thoughts. Drop me a like, guys, if you like this perspective, and I'll see you guys in the next one.